Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's tutorial is going to be on this look that I am wearing right here. It is my go-to blue smoky eye. It's probably one of my favorite looks of all time to wear. I have posted quite a few photos along my timeline in the last few years of just me wearing this look, and I've had so many of you like, please post a tutorial on this look, and I promise you it has been on my list and it is now finally here. I'm sorry I was slacking, but hey. I also kind of break down to a false eyelash application too, so that is in this video as well, because I know that is something that a lot of you have asked me in the past of kind of how to, so I do break that down. But you guys know me, I don't want to ramble. I love you guys, and let's get into the video. Okay, so you guys already know the drill. I already went ahead and primed my eyelids. I'm going to do my brows a little bit later in the tutorial since I liked how I did them in a video a while ago, doing them like once I complete my complexion. So the first palette I'm going to go in with is the Basquiat palette from Urban Decay. This was a collection that they launched, I want to say it was about 2 years ago now. I'm going to be going in with the lightest blue shade that they have, and I'm just going to be using that as my crease slash transition color when I go back and blend all my other darker blues. I will say, just because I am going to be using two different palettes today, you guys can definitely use something that has kind of all these colors together. If I had to recommend a palette, I would say probably the James Charles palette from Morphe. I know that palette has a bunch of different blues, reds, all that good stuff, so that way if you really wanted to create a monochromatic look, that's the palette to do so. Just gonna forewarn you guys, this is one of those looks that looks like completely crazy like as you're putting it on, but then like once you're done you're like, oh, she's fire. Because I remember some of the times when I do this, especially like being a little bit more on the professional side, like when I do crazy blown out like colorful looks, at first I'm always like, what the fuck am I putting on my eye right now? Like this is gonna look like shit, and then I'm done and I'm like, okay, sis, come through. So just bear with me on this one. Alright, so the next shade I'm going to go in with is the darker blue that's in this palette, and this I'm just going to be focusing on the outer part of the eye and buffing that a little bit into the crease. Obviously too, with your darker shades, especially so they don't get messy and they really stay in that concentrated area, you want to pack that product into place first and then go ahead and do windshield wiper motions. Wow, I cannot talk. Obviously at any point too, if you guys need to go back in and buff any of this out, you can always go back in with your first brush and your first color that you put on and just go ahead and blend those two together. I feel like this is a part where it kind of starts to look like a hot mess because you only have your two colors on and they're blended, but like once you put all the other colors in, you like start to see it, but at first you're like, I don't know if this is a good idea or not. I will say too, if you need them, I would say keep makeup wipes handy. For some reason, and I feel like I might be the only person that this happens to, I somehow get blue eyeshadow all over the rest of my face and my hands. Don't know how. I really don't, so I always keep some handy just so I can wipe away any excess or any that I feel like a toddler when I do my makeup. Alrighty you guys, so the next palette I'm going to be going in with is the Amrezy palette. I will say this is one palette that I've definitely fallen in love with. That is probably fallen into my top 10. I'm going to go in with the lid shade, so I'm going to be adding Leo all on top of everything that I've done from the inner corner of the eye about halfway to meet that darker blue shadow. With this, I've mentioned in the past too, you guys can always spray your brush with some setting spray just to make your shadows a little bit more pigmented and pop a little bit more on the eye. You can kind of see now once you start to put the lid shade on and all the other colors, it starts to bring it together because it's like, what the fuck? And then it's like, oh, okay. I'm just gonna say this now too, if this is a look that you're trying to do your foundation before your eyeshadow, I'm gonna pray for you. It ain't gonna happen. Now, if you guys want to, you are more than welcome to add glitter to this look. I'm probably not going to, just because there is a lot going on, but if this is something you are wearing for nighttime or whatever, or you just want to glam it up that much more, definitely go ahead and go in with glitter. Okay guys, so last step to the top part of this eye is I'm going to go ahead and add some black pencil eyeliner. I'm using my favorite one is the Urban Decay Perversion eyeliner. I like this one because it's more of a matte black than like a vinyl finish. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that on the outer part of the eye closest to the lash line, and then I'm going to go back in with my black shadow and kind of smoke that out. That way it gives a little bit more depth in the outer corner. It also makes my, when I put my false eyelashes on, it's going to help them blend a little bit easier as well. And just so I can buff out any harsh lines, I'm going to go ahead and take the darkest blue that I was using for the outer crease, and I'm just going to go over that black line. That way there is no harsh lines and everything just looks ombre and flows very nicely together. Okay, I lied to y'all. I'm gonna add glitter. It's me. I need glitter. I'm extra as fuck. Glitter's extra as fuck. We gonna do it. Okay, so because this look is hella extra though, I'm just gonna be taking my Stila. This one is a little bit more finely milled glitter. It's not just like high in your face. So we're just gonna take a little bit of that and pack that on the inner part of the eye. Alrighty you guys, so next up I'm going to go ahead and add some mascara and some false eyelashes. I am going to be using some lashes from the brand Keramink Lashes again, but I'm going to be using a different style. In my last video I used the lashes Hey Now Say Now. In this video I'm going to be using the lashes called Butterfly Kiss. These are probably some of my favorite lashes that I've worn from them. I like it too because I like any type of lash that gives you more of like that cat eye look, which this style definitely gives you that. Okay, so this is a question that I get a lot on my videos, or just in general, is how to apply false lashes. So I thought I'd kind of break it down in this video and kind of show you guys a quick little one-on-one of how to. So the first thing you always want to do is you want to go ahead and trim your lashes. What I typically have done in the past, and I've already done them with these guys, is I'll take the full strip out when I first get them, and I'll hold up a mirror as close as I can, and I'll kind of lay them over so I can see how far I need to trim them. You always want to trim from the outer part of the lash, not the inner part, just because of how short usually the lashes are. Your own, and as far as falsies go, they're always shorter in the front and longer towards the back, and the last thing you want to do is have a stumpy lash in the very front of your eye. That's not going to look cute. So always trim from the outer part of the eye and make sure you measure it perfectly, because once you cut them and then you put them on and they're not properly measured and they're a little too short, it's just going to ruin your whole day and you don't want that. Another pro tip I will suggest, and I've done that with this look, but because the colors are so harsh, it's going to blend a little bit easier. It honestly depends on the band too, but if you are working with a lash band that doesn't easily blend in with your own natural lash line, I would suggest either smoking out some pencil eyeliner close to your lash line or doing like a winged eyeliner or any type of liquid liner. Especially, like I said, you want to get it as close to your lash line as you possibly can. That way when you put your mascara on and then you put the falsies on, it's just going to really go together seamlessly. Another pro tip that I have is just going to be the glue that you're using. Hi, I have two of them. Can you tell I love these? If you are someone who's still using the squeezy tube duo, cool, great, go for it. I will say though, the brush on ones are going to be 110% better. This is one of my favorites just specifically because this one in particular is latex free and it's also waterproof. And when I say this one is waterproof, y'all know I am dramatic as fuck. I have cried so many times with false eyelashes on. That, or I go to Disneyland a lot, which that bitch is closed. Not the point. Goes to Disneyland a lot. I'll go on roller coasters and my eyelashes will still say hi, hello. They also have one as well that has green packaging. It's also a brush on tip like this guy is. This one has a plastic tip. The other one's gonna have a brush one, but that has green packaging, and that one is more of like a natural ingredient one. But yeah, this is one of my favorites, especially too. This glue goes on blue and then it dries clear, so you can see where you're putting it on the lash band, and that way it's a lot less messier than I feel like the tube ones are, because when you kind of give them even like the slightest squeeze, they just kind of go everywhere. They also take a lot longer to get tackier and dry faster, where these ones, it gets tacky once you put it on the lash band. It gets tacky in about 30 seconds, 30 to 45 seconds, and then you can just go ahead and apply your lash, and that bad boy is not going to move. So first thing I do, measure them. I'll go ahead and apply the glue on the band, and then I'll just go ahead, let it get tacky a little bit, and I always apply my lash from the center part of the eye, and then I stick it to either side of my eyeball. Not my eyeball, but you know, my lashes. You know what I'm talking about. I guess my last pro tip for you guys when applying false eyelashes as well is, one, you want to make sure those fuckers are on there, because the last thing you want to do is be like, oh, they're on, and then they're not, and you're like, well. Also too, another way to help blend your lashes with your false lashes is, once they are completely dry, go ahead and put a small coat of mascara on top of both of them to really go ahead and make sure they're blended together. But other than that, y'all should be chilling when it comes to false eyelashes. Okay, so I feel like you guys are kind of bored with this part, but I'm going to mention it anyway because, you know, doing my face. Gonna go in with my Professionals primer. This is obviously the one for if you are a little bit on the drier side. I've also been feeling really dry lately, so I'm gonna go ahead and mix my Lancome rose milk with it. I'll typically just go ahead and put this on my face, spray the rose milk on, and then just kind of rub it all in together. That way it really soaks into your skin, you feel really hydrated, and then whatever foundation you're putting on top of it, it really does give it more of a dewy finish. Alright, so I've already mentioned this in past videos. This shit is terrible for you, but I'm fucking use it anyway because I love to make bad choices. Gonna go in with the MAC Studio Fix foundation today, the Studio Fix Fluid. I will say this is one of my all-time favorite foundations ever. It's full fucking coverage. It lasts all day. Your skin looks flawless, even if it's problematic. Like, it's bomb.com. Also too, because I did just tan last night, so it matches me a little bit more than some of my other ones, and I don't feel like mixing and making a bunch of concoctions today. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this bad boy. Okay, next just going in with my concealer. Gonna be going in with my Boing Benefit Cakeless Concealer. You guys already know the drill. I don't think I'll switch up for a very long time. Like I said, I did mention I am going to be doing a drugstore haul, and I'll mention some of my other favorite concealers that, if need be, if I were to ever switch from this to another concealer, those would be my favorites. But like I said, y'all gotta wait for that video. Alrighty, next going in with my contour. I don't know why I've been back into like cream contouring lately, so I'm gonna go in with my Revolution. This is a foundation stick, but I just love it for contouring. It's also not really expensive. I think this is the most, it's like $9-10, so it's definitely a steal, and I feel like I get the effect of if I was using something from like Tarte or Anastasia. So I'm gonna apply this top of the ear, corner of the mouth, like I guys have told you before. I'm also gonna do a little bit on my temple. I've seen a few people do that as of recently. It's becoming a lot more popular. Apparently it's supposed to give you more of like a lifted and sculpted face, so we're gonna try it and see how that goes. I'm gonna go ahead and do my nose with my cream contour. Typically I'll do a powder, but we'll see how this looks. Someone asked me kind of like a how-to the other day of like when it comes to contouring your nose. So I was just explaining to them, you typically want to follow the top of your the front of your eyebrow and just kind of follow that natural line along your nose, and then if you want to go ahead and do the bottom just to kind of shorten it a little bit, but that's typically the area of placement that you kind of want to blend that out with. Another thing that I've done too is I'll typically take my contour powder or liquid and I'll go kind of like halfway up and kind of create that like button nose, if that makes sense. Madison Beer has it, on Ariana Grande, like Bella Hadid, they all have that like cute just little like, with this you can contour as much as you want, she still ain't cute. Another tip too, I've mentioned this in the past, I am going to go ahead and set my face, but I've mentioned baking in a lot of my videos. You can use it under the eye to help brighten up your eye area. You can also use it to carve out any of your placement for contour, nose contour, things like that, just to really help hold it into place and really define that area. Another thing I've mentioned too when it comes to baking, contouring, things like that, especially the baking part, you only want to let the powder sit on your face for about 30 seconds to a minute, unless you are someone who is super oily or really wants your face to be really brightened in those areas. But if not, you kind of risk the having a little bit of flashback, so you definitely want to avoid that if all possible. Okay, so before I finish the rest of my face, I'm going to go back into my eyes. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and add my Tarte Fake Awake. I mentioned this to a few of you. I also used it in my last video. This just helps kind of open up the eye and really give you more of like that doll-like look. It also helps too if you're someone who like doesn't get a lot of sleep, things like that. It really does help you look a little bit more there and a little bit more awake. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and add that to the bottom of my waterline on both eyes. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back in with that Basquiat Urban Decay palette, and I'm going to take my darkest blue, and I'm just gonna focus that really, really close to the lash line and more towards the outer part of the eye. You wanna use something that's gonna be a little bit more on the thin side as far as a brush goes, because the last thing you wanna do is use something that we've used on the top. It's just gonna make it super blown out and smoky in like the worst way possible. That way, your look will go from like, oh, cute, chic, to like trash. We don't want that. Okay, last step for the shadows is I'm gonna go ahead and take the first shade that I used, and I'm just gonna buff that out very lightly, so that way the bottom looks very similar to the top, and it all just kind of flows together as one natural smoky eye. And like I say, natural, and this is a bright blue. You know what I mean. And then you just want to go ahead and finish off with some bottom mascara, and that's pretty much the entire look. Okay, so I'm finally going to go back in and finish my eyebrows. One thing that I have been trying a little bit different recently that I've been falling in love with is I'll sketch out my brows first with the concealer and then fill them in. Because when you let that concealer dry in that area, nothing else can really get past that line. So when you go in and fill in your brows, you're going to get like a perfect, precise brow almost every single time. And I've been just really filling out more towards the tail of my brow and just kind of elongating it a little bit. I've really liked the way this look has been going. So I'm just gonna kind of follow this until I get bored of it. Alrighty, so you guys already know the drill. I'm just going to go in and finish the rest of my face with my blush and my highlighter. Nothing new in that department, just going to be using the same one that I love, my favorite Tarte blush, and then my Benefit Cookie highlighter, of course. Finally finishing with the lips. If you guys have come here and expected anything less than a nude lip, I don't know what to tell you. So I'm going to go in with my favorite lip liner. Is from NYX. It is the Slide On Glide On Stay, and definitely a turn on waterproof, and I do want to extend the waterproof because it will not smudge, budge, or go anywhere. Lip liner, and this is in the color Sugar Glass. I'm going for more of a brown nude. I have another favorite. It's called Nude Suede Shoes, and I've mentioned this before. That one has more of like a pinky mauve undertone, but I feel like a brown nude is going to complement this eye just a little bit more. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in my whole lip with the lip liner, and then I'm going to go ahead and go over with a MAC gloss, and the color is called Softly Lit. I really bought this color just for the name because I was like, softly lit, not completely lit, just softly lit. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that all over the lip liner, and pretty much this is the completed look for you guys. Alrighty, you guys, so this is it. You guys know, as always, if you guys do recreate any of these looks, please tag me in your guys' photos. I love seeing all your guys' recreations and like seeing you guys get creative. It really does make my heart happy. You also know, as always, I don't want to ramble, but I hope you guys did really enjoy this tutorial. If you guys did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.